G'day folks, this is Tony aka Crypto Aussie back with another video, and today I'm asking what is going on with the DRIP price. Now, this is a question that I've heard a lot of people asking. There seems to be a lot of confusion out there about what the hell's going on with DRIP, why is it going down, blah, 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 blah. So I'm here to try and shed some light on that question. So let's take a look. This is the DRIP price here on Dex Screener. You will see here price on about the 26th of January, about $170. Price today, which here in Australia, 1st of April, $31.98. Now that is a fall of over 80%, I believe, in just over 2 months. That's a big fall. So what is going on here? Well, let's dig into it. And we want to start from the key principle that price is driven by supply and demand. So the more people that want the token, the more demand, the more the price goes up. The more that is available to buy, that's the supply, either from willing sellers or from additional tokens being added to the pool, the more the price goes down. Right, so it's always a trade-off between those two things. So what's actually happening with DRIP? Well, if you look at the white paper for DRIP and for the DRIP garden, the animal farm, places where DRIP is used, you can see there that rewards for those are paid out of taxes, and also out of the fact that in the faucet and in the garden, that deposited funds are not withdrawable, so they're permanently made part of the pool. So what that means is those are sustainable without having to mint new tokens all the time to pay out rewards, which is what happens to so many protocols, and they end up minting so many tokens that it floods the market with supply and the price crashes. In this case, there's no evidence to suggest that they're minting a whole lot of new tokens. In fact, I don't think they are at all. So there's no additional supply being added to the market. In fact, if anything, the fact that so much money is going in there means that the supply in the market is reducing. The issue here is not that, it's more about the sell pressure. And if you actually look here on Dex Screener, they've actually got down here a lot of the recent transactions. So the red ones are sells and the green ones are buys. And if you scroll down here, there's the odd green one there, bit of green, but there's a lot of red. Probably 95% of these, maybe more, are red. So that's all people selling their DRIP. And they're not huge amounts. Look at this, $57, $54, $9, $4. So they're not whales dumping on the market. They're small amounts. And what is essentially happening here is that people are harvesting their seeds from the garden, or they're withdrawing their DRIP from the DRIP faucet, and they're selling it to get BUSD or some other token that they can actually use as real money. So it's small amounts that people are harvesting from their faucet or their garden, and they're cashing it in, right? And essentially that makes sense, right? If you want to get real returns from those, then you have to sell it, and those protocols are set up for that, and that's okay, as long as there's enough buy pressure to offset that sell pressure. But as you can see here, there's no buying going on, hardly any. And that's understandable. Why would people buy DRIP? The only reason to buy DRIP right now is to deposit into the faucet or the garden. That's really the only utility there is for DRIP right now. And at the moment, those things don't look that exciting because the price is going down. So, you look at it, the price goes down, it worries people who are already in, it doesn't encourage people who aren't in to get in. And what ends up happening is that the people who are already in decide to sell because they get worried, right? They're worried about, this is going down, I need to pull out as much money as I can before the price goes down even further. And they want to get it back as much of their money as possible. And the whole thing becomes a self-fulfilling cycle. Right? It just feeds on itself. There's no surprise to me that people would look at this. They'd look at this price and go, I better pull as much money out as I can, or get as much return as I can, because it looks like the price keeps going down. And I'm not going to put more money in because, price is still going down and it'll go down lower. And I'm not going to get in because the price is going down lower. It just becomes a self-fulfilling cycle. So how do we break that? Or can we break it? Is the drip price doomed to continue down forever? I knew what I wanted to say there, just a bit hard to say. I don't think it is. And I'm not selling. In fact, I'm in the faucet and in the garden, and I'm compounding in both because I'm betting that the price will go back up. Now, the question is why? There's two key reasons for it. The first one is the team behind this. Now, I don't know the developer, Forex Shark, personally, but he and his team, he's got a partner called BB and a team behind him. They're the ones who are behind the DRIP token and all of the protocols, Animal Farm, Drip Garden, Drip Faucet, that use the DRIP token. I don't know him, never met him, but I've listened to several hours now of his AMAs, heard him talk about what's going on in these protocols, how they work, listen to the launches. I've read a lot of his comments and posts on Telegram, and I've heard the opinions of those who have met him and who have been in this system a lot longer than I have. And there's a very, very clear, consistent impression that gives, and that is of someone who is driven much more by legacy than by making a quick buck. A couple of examples there. He doesn't take his own tokens. So when he launches a new protocol, he doesn't pay himself in his own tokens. The reason for that is because he says he wouldn't sell them anyway, because that would create more sell pressure. For him, it's about creating a legacy, a long-term sustainable product that he's proud of and that people get a lot of value out of. And the fact that he doesn't take his tokens out and doesn't want to benefit directly from that is a really good sign, in my opinion. The second example is how he's handled the piggy bank. Now, I'm not going to go into all the detail about what's been happening with the piggy bank, but there's been some challenges with it. They got botted on the launch of the piggy bank, and there were some issues there with the way that played out. And it's currently paused. So other developers in that situation might have just cut their losses, just pulled out and left it and said, no, too hard, let's try again, let's go somewhere else. This team hasn't. They have gone back in and they paused it about 3 weeks ago now, and they are working through all the issues to fix it and make it right. Now, that is not the action of someone who doesn't care about what they produce, right? That's the action of someone who cares about the legacy that they leave. Now, if you take all that together and you understand the fact that the DRIP token and DRIP as a whole it's the foundation of all of everything that he's produced, it's his baby. So I don't think there is any way he's going to let this die. I don't think there's any way he's going to let it just drift. His focus is taken on the piggy bank at the moment, but once that's done, then I think you'll see a lot more focus come back to DRIP, and that will have a very, very positive impact on the price, right? And in fact, we already have some insight into what's coming down the pipe for DRIP. After the piggy bank's done, and I think there's probably another week or so involved in that, then they've got a new DRIP UI, which is ready to come out and be launched. There's a partnership with Chainlink. There's a partnership with PancakeSwap. And there's a bunch of other stuff that they're working on, partnerships and other utility for the token, other stuff behind the scenes that I think is going to have a huge impact here. Now, all of that brings more utility to the DRIP token, and that brings reasons to buy. So what I think is going to happen there is that there'll be more reasons to buy. So more people will come in and they'll start buying. And when that happens, confidence returns. People start compounding again instead of withdrawing in fear. And that underpins the rise in price. So you find that it starts to turn around. All these people who are currently trying to pull as much return as they can because they're worried will see the price go back up, and they're more likely to stop doing that and start compounding again to create more return, right? So I think that is, in my opinion, what is very, very likely to happen. And and the second reason why I'm really bullish about that is because it's happened before. This only goes back about 2 or 3 months here, but if we change this chart a little, we'll head to the 4-hour and we go back to August, you can see twice before it's hit a peak, well, 3 times actually, hit a peak, come back down, hit a peak, come back down, hit a peak, and then it's coming back down again. What's happened each of these times is that the price has drifted down because of the nature of the protocols and the fact that people are withdrawing. And then they've added additional utility. They've added additional, launched new things into the ecosystem, and the price has gone nuts. I think this one here was actually when the piggy bank, sorry, not the piggy bank, the animal farm was announced and launched, and just it went nuts. Look up there. So I think with the stuff that I know is in the pipeline, and the stuff that I suspect will probably be coming down after that, I think all-time highs are well and truly on the table. This will turn around and go back up again. So that's my view on why I think the price is going down at the moment and steadily going down, and why that's not going to be the case long term. But of course, you need to do your own research and make your own decisions. This is just my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. I'm just a guy on the internet, and all I'm doing is sharing my opinion purely for entertainment purposes. That said, I'm compounding, and I'm compounding 100% now, and I hope I've done a reasonable job of explaining why. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully that makes some sense. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and a comment below, and make sure to hit the subscribe button to be notified of more videos like this. You can also join my free email list, where I provide ongoing commentary, tips, information, offers related to building wealth and generating passive income with crypto. And if you want to take it to the next level beyond that, you might even be interested in joining the Sat Stackers Mastermind, where we constantly discuss opportunities like this and many, many, many others. There's lots of stuff that goes through there. And at its heart, the Sat Stackers is a small but extremely supportive community of crypto enthusiasts, including some very experienced and connected people who regularly bring us profitable opportunities before anyone else is aware of them. And that's a massive competitive advantage here. So it's an awesome community. It's one that's had a huge impact on my own journey. So if you're interested in joining that, or even learning more about it, the link for that's in the description, as is the link for my my email list. Or you can hit me up in the comments if you want more info on any of that. Otherwise, thanks for joining me. See you next time.